good to go?
Yeah, let's rock.
For the Record podcast brought to you by the ROCKSTARR DJz. We in this thing.
What up?
Hey. Need everyone to introduce themselves. I'll go first. Chubby cheeks and all, you know what I'm saying? ROCKSTARR DJ, Mizzy Matt in this thing.
Mizzy. Do the way.
Yeah, you know what it is. Hugh Holla in the building. We out here. We live.
KayPlaya, the Afro, you know.
That's right. The ROCKSTARR DJ D Money was popping.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, he was the only one to say the Rockstar. First of all,
well, first and foremost,
let's start with that. We all rock stars in this thing.
Forget your first off. First off, that's how everybody's supposed to introduce themselves. The ROCKSTARR DJ.
The ROCKSTAR, like the one and only.
No,
ROCKSTAR DJ. You might have heard of me.
Exactly.
I don't even remember what I said, but we gonna get into
swag out. Yeah.
We gonna get into how we came together as a crew.
Damn me.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let these two to my right start it off.
D-Money, you got the better story.
What, the divine intervention story?
Yeah, man, you got it. Let's hear that.
All right, yeah. So like, it was just chilling, doing my thing. Me and KayPlaya, we was roommating. I think it was like Star House 0.5.
Yeah.
Before the first Star House. So I just had a vision one day, like we was just gonna start up a crew, and it was gonna be the ROCKSTARR DJz because we just got it in and got it popping like that, and we was gonna be the wildest, dopest DJs ever to touch the turntables.
Yeah.
But I had to put 2 R's on it because we got to keep it hip hop because I love Gangstar. Like,
got to rap for Gangstar.
Yeah, so that's where the 2 R's come from in ROCKSTARR DJz, and the DJZ because we got to keep it hip hop. You know, so KayPlaya was doing his thing on the turntables. I was like, yo, son, stop the music.
Yeah, so yeah, we gotta touch on how we met. Like, I met him when I was actually at a gig, and he randomly came up and was like, "Hey fam, I want to get on the turntables." And any DJ knows when a DJ says, "I want to get on the turntables," you immediately like, "Hell no, get the hell up out of here."
I mean, you gotta tell her, come on, son. Like, we had mutual, like,
people
that we rocked with.
We had mutual. It wasn't completely random.
Yeah, shout out boy DJ Infinite J9. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely, that's the link.
He was over there at Club 7. Rest in peace, Club 7. All
For real.
Classic Vegas people know what that is.
Yeah, buddy.
So he introduced us, and then one day I pulled up at the club. I was like, yo, KayPlaya, let me throw in some joints. And like he was saying, usually DJs like, nah, you can't do that, fam. But he let me go ahead and get on and do my thing. And this is before Serato.
Yeah,
so
that has to be a point. This is before Serato. So my man, not only did he hop on the tables, he hopped on the tables digging through my record crates, which he had no idea what I had. Just randomly pulling out records.
Like completely disrespectful right there, though.
But it's not like, it's just
it was cool for whatever reason. From jump, whenever he was like, "Yo, let me get on," I was really nonchalant about it. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, we had a mutual friend, but just his confidence, he was like, "Hey, fam, let me get on."
I was.
Hey, be my guest, fam.
Like, he said it like he knew what he was doing. Like,
he
was about to have 2 hands on the turntable at the same time. And he said,
I know, like put a plate on the turntable, like on how high. That's so crazy.
Right? No, it wasn't that. And my man, I mean, long story short, my man
that was
got
before
on the
gram too. You got let him know.
Yeah. This is
that was
like
before the gram, so he wasn't just doing it for the gram.
I mean, I don't
like MySpace days.
I don't even remember what this was. Maybe like 02, 03?
Yeah, it
had to be either one of those.
A minute ago.
02, 03.
So, matter of fact, this is like when Hyphy first came out. And like,
this is when it was first bubbling.
Yeah, like,
right.
And Lean Back and records like that. Like, this is that era. So, I just got on, and I didn't even stay on that long. I probably like 5-10 minutes, which I guess that's long for DJ times. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, you got on enough to mix a few records. And I mean, long story short, he did his thing. And then every week it just became a tag team to where it wasn't like he was like, yo, let me get on. Like every week I look forward to him coming and showing up. He started bringing his own records. So we just started tag teaming, I think, without consent of the club owners and everything. Like, we don't care what they got to say. Like, fam, from here on now, this is a tag team.
Yeah, I really don't think like that happens anymore. Like,
right.
We just started programming our own like night. And it was crazy because they was getting like almost 1,000 people on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
Yeah. Only teen club on the strip.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It was 19 and over though, right?
19 and over. Yeah.
Hot 19. That's right.
Hot 19.
Shout out to Jay Cruz.
Jay Cruz.
Should I say the Hot 19 days name?
Jay Cruz.
All right,
shout out
to Jay Cruz.
And Jeff G, because Jeff G was there
Jeff
originally.
G was there, yep.
And then Jay Cruz took over.
Yeah, I think Juicy Lou hosted the night too.
She
like
did.
something
She
crazy.
did, actually. Right. So that's how the Hot 97 ties come in.
Yeah, that's our Hot 975 family out there for people that don't know.
But other than that, so that's how me and this guy linked up. But me and my man to the far left, Hugh Holla was actually the very first person I met when I came to Vegas.
Yeah.
Like literally the first person that introduced himself to me.
Wow.
I'm fresh to Vegas. I'm unpacking my stuff in the dorms, UNLV, Tonopah. Tonopah, holla at your boy.
Tonopah.
Yeah, holla at your boy Tonopah, you know what I'm saying?
South, man.
Easy.
What up?
And my dude came through. I had a big ass ridiculous sound system for dorms. Like I brought my home sound system to the dorms because that's all I had.
I mean, he really did. Like he rented out a dorm room just for his sound system. Like, there was like nothing else in there. Like, yo, where do you plan on sleeping at?
No,
you know,
no,
you know how small the dorm rooms are, and you only get half of it on top of that.
Real talk.
And then his half was completely dedicated to turntables and records.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
like,
so
bruh.
for real, so even to back off of that, so when I came out here, Pops gave me an Expedition. And I had a Honda Accord before that. So he gave me an Expedition that's kind of like a gift to going off to college.
Yeah.
And the first thing I packed in that Expedition when I was moving out here was my coffin and my records. I had to make sure I had enough room for them, and then everything else came secondary. So my clothes and whatever else I needed.
So I packed that around it.
Yeah. Gotta make sure I got these crates and make sure I got these turntables. So that's how I was setting up my dorm rooms. And he came through when I was setting up my dorm room. Obviously, the first thing I put together was my sound system, so I already had music playing. He came through, introduced himself. He was like, "Yo, name is Hugh." I'm like, "Oh, so you from Houston?" He was like, "Nah, nah, from New York." And then that's how me and my man.
I mean that was a little alternative to the story from what I remember.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? 'Cause, all right, so I remember. All right, this is when we was first started in college. It was like back in like August, like fall of 2001 or something like that, right?
Exactly.
So I moved into the dorms, and I had no idea where he was staying at, but like I had a window that you can see the entrance of who's coming in and who's coming out.
Yeah.
And I mean,
True.
First of all, we talking about like college dorms, UNLV campus. It's not too many black dudes on there. I mean, let's just put that out there, right?
Kinda enough.
You know, so KayPlaya, he walking around campus with a wife beater on, looking like Snoop Dogg on Baby Boy.
Easy.
You know,
Hell yeah, hella skinny
like,
too.
This nigga right here, man. Look at this guy. You know what I mean? So I mean, that was like the first time I even saw him. Though I mean, I ain't really think nothing of it. So I'm in my room, you know, trying to get unpacked, getting my stuff together and all that. And then what I didn't expect was to be hearing like hip hop blasting through the hallways.
Okay.
You know, so I'm like a moth to the flame when it comes to that. So I just started wandering, trying to figure out where that was coming
where
from.
this music coming from.
Yeah, exactly. So it led me to all right, so where we stayed at, it's like two buildings like almost connected to each other, right? So I was in the center building and he was the one on the south side. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you was on the south side. I was on the center. You was south, right? Okay. So then I followed the music. It took me from the center building to the south building where he was at, you know? And I walked in, and it's the same dude I seen walking around with the
Snoop Dogg white beater on.
This dude blasting some music. He got some turntables. All right, so keep in mind, at this point, I've never actually been around turntables like one-on-one with a DJ before.
Okay.
Like, I mean, so, you know, like I was always like the guy that was in the crowd, just like partying, didn't really know any DJs. I mean, we're still talking about like the pre-Serato days, so the market wasn't like flooded with 10,000 DJs everywhere you go, right?
Right.
You know, so I see KayPlaya, and I'm like, yo, let me find out you a DJ. You remember that? Yeah. I'm like, let me find out you a DJ. So he just doing his thing, then we just start chopping it up from there. And I mean, and me and KayPlaya, we've been tight since then, like since like day one, man.
Yeah,
like you got your circle of people when you on campus, whatever. You form your little cliques eventually and all of that.
Right.
I mean, it's been like that like since then, 2001.
And I mean, it's people missing too. Like you just shout out Malik. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Malik came like
Diddy Boy.
after the fact.
Yeah, Malik came my second semester. Malik is my brother.
Yeah.
So I remember Malik, he was like in the army or something still back then.
I don't know what the hell Malik was doing. Malik,
And then just as he joins the army, here comes 2 airplanes. You know what I'm saying? Hitting certain buildings back then. You know what I mean?
That was crazy.
yeah,
You know,
he
that's
went
another
through boot
story.
camp, and then that's when that happened. He was like, "I'm cool." So he went AWOL. He went AWOL.
Hey, I don't blame
wow.
him. He went and hid out in this guy's room. I mean, in case they still looking for him.
Right? Yeah.
So
First name K, last name Playa.
So I came later on, so we're gonna get to that a little bit later. Let's talk about how the ROCKSTARR DJz became a thing.
Pretty much. So right after I tell KayPlaya that we're gonna be the ROCKSTARR DJz, he's with it. And then he's like, yo, I got a homeboy named Holla. He want to get into DJing. And I'm like, all right, cool. He was like, yeah, he ain't really done it before, but he gonna get his stuff and start trying to learn and stuff. And I'm like, all right, cool. So now shout out to all my tech heads, all my DJ heads out there. You know the game. Like, this stuff ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when people they gonna get something, you be like, all right, yeah, a couple months, like, it's gonna happen. Nah, son, like 2 days later.
With my account set up.
He was full setup.
Like a complete DJ setup, ready to go, studied how to put it all together. I'm like, all right, yo, it's not a game.
Right,
so
right.
If you're going to do it, you might as well do it all the way.
Yeah.
Man.
So like all the way 10. So I'm like, all right, cool. So this is what we rocking with. So it was us 3. We was doing clubs. We was in the streets grinding heavy. I was on the radio. And then, just from KayPlaya, like looking out at Club 7, I was like, yo, no matter wherever I go, whatever I do, like if you down, I'ma fight for us. You know what I'm saying? So 975 had a DJ contest and I won. You know what I'm saying? I had beat like 6 DJs and it was live on air. And then like after I got on over there, I was like, yo, I gotta get my mans on. So I was like, the first names I'm hollering, I'm like, yo, KayPlaya. And then finally, like, it happened. So just between that, it was like an organic move. We just kept grinding, putting it up in the streets, working hard in the industry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Traveling LA, hitting all over the country, all the events. And then another record hit. Remember the Shop Boys record, Party Like a Rockstar?
Yeah, buddy.
So like all this is going on simultaneously. So, we doing our ROCKSTARR, that's out, and the movement just grew. And that's how, the ROCKSTARR DJz just took off and went to the next level. So,
And then, cue the Fly Kid.
Oh, God.
Some years later.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying?
Here we go. Yeah, so, the young lion, he's just moving in the streets heavy. And we have been doing the ROCKSTARR DJz for years, and it was like, and a lot of people have been trying to get down with us, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people have been asking, and we was like, yo, all right, maybe it's time we finally go ahead and put down somebody else. So we just thinking like, who can we put down? And then everybody was like, yo, let's put down Mizzy Matt.
Yeah, unanimous decision.
So we was just like, all right, cool. And little do we know, Mizzy's like, yo, what's up? I'm trying to be down.
Hey, but we gotta play it cool though. Like, we gonna see first, man. You gonna have to go through the hazing. You gonna have to prospect first.
You gotta talk to my people first. You know what I'm saying? It's a collective. We gotta see.
Yeah.
These is like the coolest dudes in the DJ world, you know what I'm saying? Especially like, I started DJing in 2009.
Yeah.
So coming up, I came up through the ranks fast as hell. Just cause like kind of on some Holla shit, you know what I'm saying? Just once I put my mind to it, that's all I'm doing. Whatever. Let's go. So coming up, especially on a radio station, like D-Money always killing shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Then, I randomly pop up on the weekend, KayPlaya killing shit, and then I see Hugh, I'm like, damn, like these niggas is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, I'm new to the DJ game, so I didn't really know about crews or whatever. But I'm like, man, these niggas is killing it. They in the club. They used to have our old logo was the flyest shit.
Hey, shout out to Hugh. Shout out to Hugh.
The old logo, the killer old logo.
The old logo was so fly. I was like, yo.
That was the vibe back then too, man.
Yo, we gotta run that back. It was like a dude inside a turntable with his hat to the back, like it was cold.
That's gonna be like you know how they do like the throwback jerseys and whatnot. Like we gotta throw that back one time for the old logo.
Yeah, that's like the Bayside Tigers or the Bel Air Academy.
Yeah,
jersey.
Exactly.
So I was like, man, I gotta be down. So eventually made it happen. There's a lot of backstories to all that, but
of course.
So let's get into it right now. I'm gonna throw an audible.
Easy.
So there's 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Let's start off with the top 4 producers. Everybody pick one.
Oh my God.
And then we gonna unanimously
Top
come back
all
and see
time?
of all time.
We all picking one.
We all picking one, and then we'll come back and analyze who we need to take out and add in if necessary.
Wow.
DJ Quick for me. That's I don't even gotta think about.
Damn, son, that was hella fast. Like,
No, that's without a doubt. DJ Quick is my all-time favorite producer.
I gotta go with Timbaland.
Tim?
Hey, Tim ain't no punk.
Yo, one time, man, we can't forget about my man Swiss, though. He used to kill it. Still killing to this day, too, by the way.
Yeah. Money.
What y'all looking at?
You conflicted. money conflicted.
Yes. I'm so I like so much stuff, and so many people do so many dope things. I don't even really know.
I expect you to take it non-mainstream.
Not
just no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I don't know, man. I really can't really put my hand around. It's just so many dope people. You know,
gotta pick one.
Yeah, you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
I mean, if I gotta pick one, I gotta go with the wave. I gotta go with Yeezy. I gotta go with Kanye.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Actually, I'm surprised at that selection from you.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, all right. So what did y'all think?
I thought you was gonna say something like Manny Fresh or Beats by the Counter.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I mean, obviously they both dope.
I'm a super Manny Fresh loyalist. When the Cash Money. Matter of fact, I was like, yo, because I got family down in Louisiana.
Right.
Anybody that know about Louisiana, it's like its own world. They don't operate on mainstream radio. They got their own music culture down there, and it'll be an album out that's mainstream, and they'll be like, nah, we don't care about that. You heard of, matter of fact, my dad put me up on Kevin Gates. He was
OG Pops,
OG Pops,
because he was living down there. And he was like, yo, son, you know about that Gates? I'm like, Gates? What is he talking about? Something that go in front of a house? He's like, nah, man, that Kevin Gates, it go hard.
Yeah. He's still bringing music, Pops.
And then a couple weeks later, I'm seeing Kevin Gates everywhere. I'm like, Dad, what is you talking about? But I say Kanye because I just feel like Ye is just so swagged out, and if you follow his career, he's just such a trendsetter. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm glad you did that. Tell me why you picked Quick.
For a few reasons.
Here we go, y'all.
Probably the most important is personal. Is because Quick was the first person in my quest to understand that hip hop is this is for me. Mm-hmm. Quick was the first producer where I was like, whatever this dude is putting out musically, I love it. And naturally, so short story, but a little bit of a backstory. Yeah. My favorite musician ever is Prince.
Okay.
My favorite artist ever is Michael Jackson. But coming from Prince musically, I grew up on the music side of what Prince was doing. And to me, Quick always had a musical side of his production. On every album he did, he always had a Quick's groove when it was just an instrumental. Yeah. Where it was a jazz / hip hop instrumental. Okay. And on all his music, I mean, for the first 3-4 albums, I mean, even after that, but growing up and when I was in my most impressionable stage, Quick always paid attention heavily to melodies. And I feel like a lot of hip hop producers back in the day was more so into chopping samples and wasn't necessarily into hiring a bass player to come in and play bass live, or hiring an orchestra to come in and play some orchestra notes, some brass notes live. And Quick, for that reason, Quick was the first person like, yo, this dude production is crazy. So he'll always have a place for me in the top. But even with that, his production is probably how I shape my sound into what I like, if that makes sense. Like he sets the bar for me. Like, yeah, this dude is dope, but he ain't really musical. You know, or whatever it is. But he sets the bar for me because he was the first person who I really thought like, damn, this dude beats is killing. Everybody else, I was like, yeah, he rapping dope or whatever. But Quick for me was that dude. Like, yo, fam, the music alone is dope. Like, I can listen to a Quick album, all instrumentals, and it still be fire.
So why'd you pick Swizz?
No, real quick, I was gonna say KP. He got me into DJ Quick too, man. I mean, I've always appreciated his production. He used like a lot of like the live instruments, and I actually grew an appreciation for more producers that actually use live instrumentation in all their work too. Shout out to Ryan Leslie also, man. He's like another one of those guys.
That dude's like unsung.
I mean, because now I think every producer is talented. Yeah, every good producer is talented, but you know, when you can take live instruments and you can show that you actually have like real musical talent and skill, you know, I mean, to me, like regardless of whether I like your music or not, you know, I mean, if it sounds dope and I mean, and I see what you're doing, like the whole process of actually like creating your work, you know, I mean, I have an appreciation for it, whether I like it or not, is all I'm trying to say. But so for me, like my artist was a Swizz Beatz. That's who I picked. Yeah. You know, I mean, Swizz has always been dope to me. And I mean, see, I was raised in New York City, for one, so I might have a little bit of bias when it comes to that.
And that's cool.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
so I mean, this is what I grew up in.
All right,
so
that ain't cool.
When I think about
too much.
So when I think about like him and like some of the tracks that he made back in the day, to me it's more of a nostalgic feeling, you know. I mean, it takes me back because I mean, I just got my driver's license. I'm like 16 years old, like the late 90s, you know what I mean? And you know, so I'm whipping around just playing like all his stuff, like all the Rough Riders joints, you know. I mean, like most of the tracks he produced on like the Eve album back then. I don't know if y'all remember that.
I remember that album.
I mean, he just used to kill it, and everything that he designed always had like that energy to it, you know. I mean, and it was unique. I never heard anything like that before, you know. And so for me, if I hear Swizz Beatz songs, you know it's like one of his beats as soon as you hear it. You don't even have to hear the producer. You already know it's a Swizz. But I mean, it's always dope, you know. So to me, he was always kind of like the gold standard when it comes to a producer and what it's supposed to be like. I mean, a lot of producers try to sound like other producers, you know, but when you can get that uniqueness to yourself and you can create your own sound to where you don't need to put a tag on your joint for people to know that it's you.
That one is Swizz.
Yeah, I mean, once you have that and you're still managing to put out dope beats, I mean, that's when you know you got a good producer on your hands. So shout out to Swizz.
One thing I like about Swizz is his drum programming is always crazy. And I mean, just on the flip of always growing up and appreciating somebody who put melodies in their music like Quick. Like the ability for Swizz to create an energy just from his drum programming was always dope to me. And especially like Swizz came about like around the time when I was getting into DJing and exploring that. So just to know I could put on a Swizz record and just from the drums alone, like he got drums and just like minimal horns or whatever. But now you put on some Swizz and it's gonna set the party off. And just his ability to do that was always dope to me.
Right. So it's like if you can't think of a song to play and you need to bring the energy up, just hit a Swizz song.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
exactly.
Yeah, you bring a great point. Like, dude always, his beats always just had that hype energy. Like, they always took the club up. And it sounded big, too. Like, almost not as big as Dre. You know what I'm saying? Like a Dre beat, because Dre, like, his beats is just, they just so
honorable
full.
mention.
Yeah, you know I was going to say sidebar. Nobody mentioned Dre.
Yeah,
honorable mention.
Don't worry, he just got mentioned right now. Okay,
like, I mean, shout out to Dre though.
Just that sound, like it sounds so big when it comes out of the speakers. And you know, just shout out to the producers out there, everybody that's doing their thing in general, because these Casio beats that your boy can make, it's just not popping at all.
Hey,
so
but see, speaking of Casio beats, I saw an interview where Swiss Beats said his first beats were on the Casio.
I'm just saying.
Well, yeah,
you got to start from somewhere.
He was like
somewhere. Exactly.
But we do have to keep
that
in
one
mind
finger wonder
that when Swiss was in the height, like the Rough Rider days, like dude was an early teenager.
Yeah, he was like a kid.
Yeah.
He was a kid amongst men.
He was like 14, 15 making these smashes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know, I had to pick Timbo because I mean Timbo is definitely known for
Swole Timbo or
either one, man.
Timbo?
You know, he's always gonna push. I like Timbo so much because of his sound selection. We talking about sounds or drum patterns, and he was always the one who wanted to be outside the box and make it work. And then I've never seen a producer take so many records that other people passed on and made it a hit for someone else.
Right.
There's been so many people. He did hella beats for Jay-Z. Jay-Z would pass on it, and he made that same beat a hit for Missy Elliott. So on and so forth. So I mean, and definitely like the same thing with Swiss. When a Timbo beat come on, you know it's Timbo.
Definitely.
For sure, because it just don't sound like nothing else. Like anything with any funky sounds, especially back from the 90s, early 2000s, you knew that was Timbo. And then also with him, he was one of the only producers back then that could do hits in both for rap and R&B.
Yeah, pop too. Like especially like nowadays. Like I mean, you could say Justin Timberlake wouldn't be Justin Timberlake if it wasn't for Timbaland.
No, this is facts.
Or probably one of my favorite Timbaland joints, the Apologize record. Like, and that's like a pop record.
That's one of your favorite. That's one of your favorite
for real. Like that record is so dope.
It is dope.
Yeah, like just I mean, I gotta give dude his props, but I do thank you for mentioning Manny Fresh though. All
right, so real quick before we jump off the producers topic, I need everyone real quick. We ain't gonna go into details about it. Everybody pick one new producer at this age, real fast.
I mean, you got to say Metro
Okay,
Boomin.
so,
You know what I mean, that's automatic.
Who you got, Money?
Man, of this. Come back to you, boy. Come back to you, boy. I gotta think.
I might change my mind, but I think I'm gonna go with TM88.
I'm not mad at that.
I rocks with TM88.
I'm gonna go with TM88.
See, I was originally gonna go with Murder, so I'm gonna do that as an honorable mention, but I'm gonna go with London.
I see that.
London is dope as hell.
Okay, I mean, like, you know who I really rocked with? Like Southside. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's great.
I mean, that's same click. Yeah.
Like,
Southside is dope.
I was like, you know, he's running with the whole Metro squad.
But
that project with him and Gucci though, like that, yo.
I need to give an honorable mention, and I don't even know if we could consider him a new producer because he's been around for a while. But Zaytoven,
yes,
and that's the other name that was on the tip of my tongue.
I didn't really say him first because he been around for a while.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Zaytoven is a beast. Like, you know, a lot of producers will be like, "Yo, I made this beat in 10, 15 minutes or whatever." And to me, I don't really just passionate about music. That's not a compliment to the music itself to me. When a lot of people are like, "Yo, I came up with this verse in 15 minutes," or I wrote this without even writing it down, or whatever. That's not a compliment to me. But I seen Zaytoven's workflow, and it was so natural to him that he really came up with a beat in less than 10 minutes.
Wow.
And it was fully layered, had different melodies, breakdowns, or whatever. But he just so dope on the keys, and his drums just come so naturally that it was dope, and it really did take him less than 10 minutes.
You know, I got to show some love to Sonny Digital too. Like, I sat in the studio with Sonny and seen him like crank out a banker, like
cook it up.
How they said cook it up. Yeah, I seen him cook up like something crazy. So.
All right, so now this is where it's gonna get interesting. Like I said, Dawn Audibles. There's 4 of us. We gotta do top 4 artists. Everybody gotta pick one. Your overall top artist of all time. I kind of got a feeling what I was I'm gonna jump out the window first and just say Biggie. So
Biggie.
Oh, so you gonna still
wait?
Biggie,
So
huh?
are we limiting this to hip hop? Let me ask that.
We don't gotta limit it to hip hop. If you for all time.
Oh, without a doubt, Michael Jackson to me. Artists, it's hard because Prince is my favorite, but artist wise, Michael Jackson for me. I don't like no no genre boundaries.
I don't even know like if I want to get into the Michael Jackson Prince thing, because like I swore like Michael Jackson was it, you know. But breaking down and really thinking about like all the stuff that Prince does, and just his showmanship and stage presence in general, like the dude's really the truth.
Well, okay, so this is why. So, like, I take the categories seriously, right? So when we say artists, I'm thinking mostly on vocals and presentation of the art.
Yeah.
Right. So when we look at it from that perspective, I will always say Michael Jackson is my favorite. But on the same note, Prince is my favorite musician. Like, encompassing everything when it comes to music, like ain't nobody touching Prince at all.
I can see that.
You know, so I mean, if we saying artists, like the way the artist presented, I'm gonna go Michael Jackson.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna keep it hip hop. Like, I want to go Tribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to rock Tribe Called Quest, but I gotta go Big Boy and Andre Outkast. Like, I'm just like, that's just. And it was hard to think about like what I really was feeling, but just sitting back and going over and vibing over all their music. Those were the songs that I remembered the most, and I could rap the lyrics the most off the top of my head. So it was just like,
I mean, no one could stand in the ring me personally with Andre 3000. That dude, I feel like he's the greatest rapper of all time. That's me personally. Like, he's a genius.
I don't know. I'm mad. I'm mad at 3000 though, man.
Why you mad at 3 Stacks?
I mean, 3 Stacks, man.
Personally speaking, because I feel like he got a responsibility to the culture, man. I mean, when you that nice and you have that much of an impact. Now, backtracking to say I'm mad at him because I hold him up to such high regard. Okay. But I feel like he's nonchalant about his artistry.
Do you?
I think I know where you're gonna go. Like, he could probably critique himself so much to where he doesn't want to overindulge. And I can understand that. But this is Andre 3000, fam. Like, I don't know that I have ever heard, in all of the Outkast albums and all of the features, I don't know that I've ever heard a subpar 3000 verse.
No.
I mean, I say you haven't.
So naturally, I want to hear more.
But I would go as far as to say this. I would counter and say I feel more like he gave it everything. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
And then also you can see his progressions after each album that came out. Because Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, Andre 3000 wasn't the same as The Love Below Speaker Box, Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying? He had grew so much by then. And just with him expounding and becoming more and more of an artist, it was just like, all right, I've gone so left and y'all just stuck right here in the same place. Like, yeah, it ain't really nothing else.
Look, 3 Stacks. Long story short, give us more music. Who you got, Hugh?
That's real. Man, I gotta give it up one time for my man Nas, though. You know,
hey.
I mean,
that's a New York answer.
He's always in a conversation for
keeping it consistent.
Bang, bang.
You know, I mean, I gotta go with what I know. You know, I mean, that's the type of music that I really like study. Because I mean, there's like a lot of other artists that I rock with that I like, I appreciate. Yeah. But like, as far as like artists that like will actually make you like think, you know, not just talking about just like street stuff, or I mean, just like the life that I can't necessarily relate to. I felt like to him, like for me personally in my life, you know, I mean, me and Nas, we lived in the same area in Queens. You know, I mean, I lived there for like about 3 years. Shout out to Queensbridge too.
Right,
you know?
right.
And so for me, like when I listen to like a Nas album, like I feel like he's one of those artists I can like sit in a dark room by myself and just like vibe out to for like an hour straight and don't even realize where the time went. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I still rock with him to this day. And to me, like, you know, till this day, he still has not disappointed and still putting out like fresh music. And, you know, like artists like that, I mean, they're like living legends.
No, I'm with you. Like, I mean, even out here on the West Coast, like, because Vegas is a little bit different. Like, it's so influenced by my bad, regions from all over the country. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But like when those Nas albums was coming out, like they was getting heavy rock out here too. You know, because like I remember getting It Was Written, and you know, just hearing the intro and then him coming out, you know what I'm saying, and just how it all flowed even before it got to If I Ruled the World. Like that album was just dope.
I can say there's not too many artists in the world that I can say has ever given me goosebumps by just like listening to their lyrics.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you feel like that relationship to the words that they're speaking, you know what I mean? Like to me that's just like next level. So shout out to Nas, man. Like, he's got to be my favorite at the time.
It came just real quick. It came later, but I mean, just to speak to what you're saying as far as goosebumps, can't even speak. But One Mic for me, that gave me goosebumps,
especially One Mic.
I mean,
like
you can even
to
go
this day,
rule.
I can't listen to One Mic without zoning completely out to where they're like, yo, KayPlaya is not present at all. Like, nah, fam, One Mic is on. Like, I need to listen and feel every vibration that's going on right now. So yeah, shout out to Nas for
even
that
album was dope because everybody like had to get it because they had to get Ether. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You had to.
True.
Like,
and I will say,
rock guys,
I will say, like as far as growing up in Vegas, listening to everything, I grew up in a part of Cali to where, and I grew up when Cali was at the top. It was upper echelon, right? Like it's the Death Row era. This is coming off a Cube. So all I really listened to was West Coast music until later in life. But Nas was just one of those standouts, even though I was only listening to West Coast, and especially when One Mic coming out, that's undeniable.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so now we're going to jump into albums. Everybody got to pick their top album.
Yikes.
I'm going to go, and it's funny that you just played off of this with the artist. I'm going to go Off the Wall, Michael Jackson.
Hey.
Okay.
That album was ridiculous.
Masterpiece.
Off the Wall. Okay.
I think we all speechless.
It's like I didn't know he was doing all that. Yo.
That's
I mean, well, he took me left with the artist when he said Michael Jackson. So I'm like
a massive question.
But I mean that's a good vibe, and Michael Jackson had a lot to prove. I mean, obviously, at that point we were all young as far as being able to receive music and understand what was going on culturally or whatever. But Michael Jackson had a lot to prove on that album, and he definitely proved it. And the Off the Wall album is definitely a banger.
It's a beyond classic.
Yeah, definitely. Who next? Me, I'll go.
Go ahead.
Favorite album of all time, Ice Cube, Death Certificate.
Easy.
Okay. And these three, four of us collectively, these three know me, and they know me to be more of the militant type.
Yes.
I guess we could say.
Fudge Ice Cube from Higher Learning.
And I will say, like, when people say music can shape your personality, that's definitely true, because Death Certificate, I want to say Death Certificate came out in 92, like early 92, I want to say. And I mean, I was 10 years old at the time, 10 years old. And listening to that album, I understood what the message was, and it affected me for the rest of my life because it was so artistically done that I received the information without necessarily questioning too much of it. So it forced me to look at reality a different way, I guess we could say. So at 10 years old, I'm listening to this album from my favorite artist, who was already my favorite artist. I was already listening to NWA. I'm from California, right? So my parents, when they wanted to listen to hip hop, they was listening to West Coast hip hop. So I listened to NWA. So I'm listening to this Ice Cube album, and he's talking about a lot of social issues. And at 10 years old, I'm just soaking it all in. And as far as I was concerned, his word was the Bible. So growing up beyond that and seeing like, yo, fam, he really was talking about some real life situations on this album. It kind of shaped my mentality and how I view the world. So that was definitely the most impactful album, and because of that, my favorite album.
All right, this is like almost an impossible question, but just for the sake of answering the question, I'm gonna go like this. If you haven't, please revisit the Goody Mob Soul Food album. Like, shout out to everybody that's on call. Like this, on this conscious
That's a good
Tip.
call.
Like they was really getting it in when that album came out, like on a whole nother level. So revisit that. The Tupac Temptations album, or actually Me Against the World.
Right.
I want to go there, but I'm gonna say probably my all-time favorite is All Eyes on Me, because I just remember that. Like you said, it was at such an impressionable time in my life. You know what I'm saying? I was like 12 years old, macking on girls at the skating ring, telling them I'd rather be your NIGGA. And do you want some of this thug passion?
Hey.
But just from that album play from start,
Right.
as soon as you put
As
soon as you put in disc 1, he come out banging. Like it just came out so hard. Disc 1, track 1.
Real talk, all
And then it
songs
kept
on
going.
both CDs were
Yes,
dope.
and then it kept going.
I'm not
and
skipping one.
It didn't stop. Literally, there's no skips on that whole project. Like, and one of my all-time favorite tracks is the one with him, Corrupt, Redman, and Method Man. Like,
Hey, did Daz do that? I think Daz did the beat on that.
Daz did the beat on that.
That song is
Like,
fire.
Just that album right there.
I
So
would agree with that.
that'll be. I'm just gonna say that just for sake. I love so many albums back and forth, but that Tupac All Eyes on Me album, you talk about a monumental shift changer. That's the one for
I would
me
agree.
right there. Real
I
talk.
would agree.
Okay.
I don't remember much. I got a terrible memory, but I still remember exactly where I was when I heard California Love for the first time, and that's when they announced that Pac was on Death Row. Mm-hmm. So that's how impactful that whole era and that whole album was to me.
I remember that videos. Can you dig it?
Yeah. You know what's funny?
Man.
I never seen. So wait, what movie is that? I forget the name of the
The
movie.
Warriors.
No, it's not the Warriors.
No,
It's not the Warriors.
It's not the Warriors.
It's no.
Bad Boy.
Yeah, Bad Boy with the bottle. Yeah. Whatever movie that video is from,
You sure
I
that's
hadn't
not the
seen
Warriors?
it. Yeah, I'm
Was it
100%
Was
sure.
it Mad Max or something?
Mad Max.
Yeah.
It is Mad Max because
okay.
they ended up redoing it.
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen Mad Max until that point. So
Okay.
to me, looking at California Love video, this was all original to me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then people was like, "No, yeah, they doing the Mad Max."
I could have
movie.
sworn the Can You Dig It is from.
Well, Can You Dig It?
Well, Can You Dig It is from Warriors.
Okay.
But the
Video
video
concept.
concept.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
The video concept
All right.
is from Mad Max.
Fair enough.
That's dope.
Where we at, Hugh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to D Money for always being the same guy since he was a
Yeah.
teenager. Apparently,
No change. No switch ups. Same gang. Shout out to my boy Dude Brown, my Miami, Florida family. A whole lot of gang shit.
That's funny.
a whole lot of gang shit in here, right? You know? But I mean, you know what? What's crazy to me is like I feel like living on the East Coast, like.
Yeah.
I kind of like was raised in a bubble in a sense, you know,
But you
because
know-
Definitely.
there wasn't
Yeah.
there was not like social media, like everybody was just downloading albums and talking about it and giving it play for about a week like they do like nowadays, you know, so like you just kind of know what's in your circle and in your bubble wherever you are.
But you know
Right.
what? Sidebar, I want to ask you this real quick because, like you said, you lived on the East Coast and you was really over there.
Yeah.
Thinking back on it now, do you think there was really like a filtration where West Coast music didn't really get infiltrated in on the East Coast?
I feel like 100% yes. Being from the West Coast, I absolutely feel like yes.
Yeah. Look, I put it like this.
All
when
right.
I first moved to the West Coast, which was like back in like 2000,
Okay.
there were songs that I would see cats that just moved out here to Vegas from LA that they knew word for word, that I thought it was a dope song, but I never heard it before in my life.
In my life.
And they
In
looking
my
at you like it's
life.
old.
Yeah, it's like, yo,
Yeah, like fam, this is classic.
yeah. I remember everybody singing that "Don't Stop the Feeling" joint. You know what I mean? Back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, you
know, like
don't fight the feeling?
Don't fight the
Yeah,
pimpin'.
don't fight the feeling.
But I mean, you know, it was a remake or whatever.
Yeah.
but
Right.
at the
Or
same
don't
time-
fight the pimping.
Don't fight the pimp.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sugar Free.
Yeah.
Yeah. My man
Classic.
Sugar Free. So everybody was on that. I remember Corrupt back then. Yeah. Everybody was on that Girls All Pause.
Yes.
Everybody, you know what I mean?
Hey, Girls All Pause hard for real.
I mean, I've never heard this song before in my life.
We didn't know about none of that.
About none of it at all.
Dog pound, all that stuff.
So to me,
they did y'all wrong.
It was like turning on a light switch in another part of your brain that you've never been able to use before, because it just kind of opens your mind to like this whole other world of music that you haven't touched. But I mean, but when it comes down to classic albums, things that that I always rocked with, I mean, I got to give it up to my man Biggie on his Ready to Die album.
Definitely.
That was my joint right there. I mean, I still knock that to this day. That's one of those albums to this day. Like, I will stop whatever I'm doing.
Was that his first or second?
Listen.
No, that's Ready. Okay, so but this is what I have to ask.
Was that the first or the second? That was the first, right?
Ready, that was the first album.
Do you think Ready to Die is a better album than Life After Death? I mean, I understand, like, first impression. I say yes. The first impression is everything.
I say yes because it was more raw.
Okay.
And that was like literally the first album I ever bought on tape. From the bootleggers on the corner in my Walkman, walking to school. Real spit. But
Jamming
it was like
Ready to Die bootleg.
Yeah, had a Walkman, man.
Shout out my man Mizzy, man.
Had a Walkman.
Iowa, remember Iowa, son?
Hey, I was on deck.
You know what I'm saying?
I had the Iowa stereo at home and the Walkman.
I don't even know what my tape player was called. Like, I just know it had like the black electric tape on the back to keep the batteries in.
Yeah. That was probably the Sony joint.
Yeah, probably so.
Weighed about 5 pounds.
I feel like the second joint was more commercial and more polished Biggie.
See, I know we're gonna go on a sidebar now when we're talking about Biggie's albums. But okay, so what's y'all favorite song on Ready to Die? If you had to pick one. I got a few. But I got one that's probably popular, unpopular.
What?
If we could say that.
What?
Suicidal Thoughts.
I rocks with Suicidal Thoughts.
That shit is so hard to me.
Yeah.
And probably because it's just so out of left field that up until that point, like, I was never really into that gory type of music, right? But he, just like the way he spoke on the alternative reality, like, yo, fam, all the stuff that y'all think y'all want, I don't want that. Like, I'm trying to be me wherever I go. And according to my knowledge, the me that I am mostly fits in with them over there. That's the most PG explanation.
I believe it.
Of that song that I could come up with.
See, mine will have to be Give Me the Loot.
Yeah.
To give me the loot is dope.
Growing up in Brooklyn, like that was like a depiction of what my hood was like.
Was it like an anthem?
Right.
Yeah, like
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Little badass kids running around the hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like really, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what sneakers you wearing, you really get pressed on a train. You know what I'm saying? On the subway field.
It was crazy like that though. Like that was two things that I never wanted in my life as a kid.
What?
Was Jordans and a Jan Sport. So those two things that you gonna get
like
jumped
they was
off
really on the Jan Sport.
Like you couldn't make it home with a Jan Sport on your back,
that's
or
crazy.
with Jordans on your feet.
That's crazy.
I mean? It's like, yo, those are dope, but don't give them to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want those kind of problems.
Or you was like, yo, I know if somebody try to take my stuff, I'ma beat the dog shit out of them.
Yeah, like something happening.
So I know I'm
somebody coming to get you. They ain't by themselves though.
Yeah. Like it's an unfair match.
I put it like that. They gonna sneak up on you. It's gonna be like 2 or 3 of them at least, and they gonna get you. I guarantee you.
I'm gonna have to go. Probably my favorite record is Machine Gun Funk. Like, like it's just so funky.
Yeah, that was one of mine right there.
Yeah. Like how you just flow on that record. Like if I'm out at a spot and that come on, like it just take me there. Like just dope.
I mean, the whole album is dope to me. I mean, it's hard to just pick one.
I
mean, I like
both. I mean, 2 classic albums.
Right,
obviously,
and that's not even including like none of the commercial joints that they had on there. One More Chance, Juicy,
that he made.
Right,
him do.
Obviously
and
not.
He didn't even really want to do them records like that.
Right.
He was just
Mizzy,
like,
where you at?
I say, give me the loot.
Give me the loot.
Yeah, that was like I said, as a little kid growing up in Brooklyn, that was definitely what was going on. Like depiction of what was going on in the hood.
Right.
For sure.
I dig that.
All right, so now we're gonna break it up into our groups. If y'all don't know the ROCKSTARR DJz very well, we got this like inner thing that we got within the crew.
Hello,
it's the West Coast.
So to the right, KayPlaya and D Money is ROCKSTARR DJz West.
That's right.
And to the left, me and Hugh Holla is ROCKSTARR DJz East.
We like Zephyro East.
So
insert sound effects. That's right. Insert Mario just died sound effect.
Don't let me have to get some clues bombs in here.
Right.
So we're gonna throw a curveball and we're gonna have D Money and KayPlaya pick 3 of their top artists from the East Coast collectively.
So we doing it like that.
I could go.
Yeah, go, because it take my brain a second. Like I be digging so deep.
I'll try not to make this a long story, but aside from the birth of hip hop, right? We're gonna eliminate that whole thing because obviously the rappers we heard first, like Run DMC, LL, Biz Markie, Rakim, all of them was from the East Coast, right? So, not including that, when we were of age to really understand the fundamentals of hip hop, the first person to make me be like, yo, fam, there's some really dope ass music outside of the West Coast was Redman. And more specifically, I missed the whole There's a Dark Side album.
Yeah.
But Muddy Waters is still one of my favorite albums. And shout out to my cousin DeJuan, because DeJuan was like, yo, fam, you need to listen to this Redman album, because he knew how I was just so West Coast. And he knew, like, to this day, he know my musical style. But
I think he's supposed to be making the Muddy Waters too, by the way.
Yeah, he was talking about doing it.
Don't do it. Don't
mess up a good thing.
Yeah, please don't do it. No, I still rock with Redman, Reggie Noble. But so Redman is definitely one of my favorite all-time East Coast artists, because he was the one who got me to thinking like, yo, fam, these East Coast dudes really got something to say.
Telling you.
No, that's what Outkast, that's what Andre 3000 said. But so Redman, second Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
And I rocked with Busta Rhymes' entire presentation, from the way he did his albums. Like I was locked in. Like he themed his album. Like, to me, he was the first person to theme his albums around a central subject, which was pretty much the end of the world. Right, so we had like When Disaster Strikes. Yeah. Don't get me going off of memory.
4 years left.
Yeah, but he had his albums leading up to the end of the world, which ultimately played out to be like the year 2000.
Yep,
exactly.
I remember that.
But just the way that he presented his energy was crazy to me. I was always into it. So from When Disaster Strikes to what was after When Disaster Strikes?
I think it was Extinction Level Event, ELE.
Extinction Level Event. It's crazy. That's the one that got the joint with Janet on there. Yeah. And that is undeniably a classic. You know what I'm saying? What's it gonna be? Yeah. Right?
It's one of them slow jam, pull the girl on the wall.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Man.
Messing up people white walls with the blue jeans.
And Sleeper, I'm pretty sure that's the album that he got the song with Mystical on it. Is it not?
Oh yeah! Oh,
and
my goodness.
Now, let's not sleep on that. A lot of people like to give up props to like Twista and Tech Nine for rapping fast as hell. But that song that Busta Rhymes have with Mystical on that album, Extinction Level Event, is fire. And if you can do every word to that song,
yeah,
because I don't need Genius.com. I'm looking up what the hell they talking about on that show. You know what I'm saying? But so Redman, Busta Rhymes. And I mean, the third one is obviously going to have to be a popular pick.
What?
Because he transcends everything coastal, and that's Jay-Z.
Okay.
You know, from I Love the Dough.
Good answer.
Right. From I Love the Dough on Biggie's album. That was the first time I really paid attention to Jay-Z. I'm like, yo, yeah, shit, dude, it's kind of nice. That's a joint with Angela Winbush.
No, I know exactly what you're talking
about. Biggie, Jay-Z, Angela Winbush. I'm like, yo, this joint is dope. So I paid attention from then on, and you know what I mean? Shit. He's the Jay-Z that we all love now. So those are my three. Wait, recap. What do we got? Redman, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z for me.
Okay, I could definitely roll with that. Gotta put Jay-Z in there, but I'm gonna also rock with left field. I'm gonna go with the mighty Mos Def. Okay, most definitely. Like just that whole ruckus movement. It was like a change of pace from getting everything from all the down south stuff that I rock with, and the West Coast. Like just that boom bap, real centered, grounded hip hop feel. Like definitely got to give it up for Yasin Bey, the mighty Mos Def. So I'm gonna go with him. Also,
he from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the mighty Mos from Brooklyn. I'm gonna also roll. Oh yeah, I'm so glad this name popped in my head. The God MC. Rakim Allah.
Yeah,
okay?
yes.
Like, I'm gonna tell you.
Speak on that. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Rakim was rapping like 2000 flows in 1989. Like he was so far ahead of the game, just where he took it at, and just a whole vibe. And I really feel like I would say Rakim and Eric B. Shout out to the homie Eric B. They really represented like the real New York. You know what I'm saying? When they started putting out like the first projects. If you really wanted to know what a real New York cat was, especially like a Get Money dude, like it was like Eric B and Rakim. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to roll with the mighty Mos Def, Eric B, Rakim, Jay-Z, and then honorable mention my dude, the Dark Man who can't stay out of jail, DMX. Cause I mean my man put out 2 platinum albums in the same year.
In the same year.
And they both went. And he had mad cats out here on the West Coast in Timberlands.
hey, facts.
And Johnny Blaze.
Facts. I never seen nobody outfits on the West Coast rocking Timbs.
Johnny Blaze outfits. It's just like they set it on a whole nother level. So I got to give it up to the Dark Man, DMX.
And his Damien joint was dope too.
Oh my goodness.
DMX is just dope.
Oh yeah.
Too bad he in jail right now. But
I mean, goddamn, is he in jail?
Yeah, he just went.
All right, but okay, so let's flip it.
Yeah.
So obviously, we are ROCKSTARR DJz West. They are ROCKSTARR DJz East.
Yes, sir.
We name our 3 favorite East Coast artists. Mm-hmm. So y'all got to name y'all favorite 3 West Coast artists, just to keep it fair,
man.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna jump out the window and do 2 commercial, just cause in my childhood, like you said, it was such a bubble. Right. As far as what came from the West Coast, that definitely the 2 most influential people that crossed over into the East Coast market was definitely Tupac, obviously,
right.
And Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg is still one of my all-time favorite rappers, just because
legendary.
He's that dude. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody cooler than Snoop. You know what I'm saying?
Snoop Dogg song was like that? Just like really did it for you?
Good question.
What Snoop Dogg song didn't do it for you? You know what I'm saying?
I just want to know. Like,
I'm trying to think back when I was back when I was a kid, because I could give you a whole ton of Snoop Dogg songs. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Everything from like Drop It Like It's Hot to you know what I'm saying. But that's more so older. I mean, what definitely got my attention as a kid, and this was probably like in the middle of or starting to go towards the B side, was New York, New York.
Okay. With him and the Dog Pound.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's like kind of like, who is this cat? You know what I'm saying? Like, the hell stomping on our buildings is just.
But the crazy thing,
carelessly,
like, with us, well, I mean, myself speaking personally, like being so young back then, I didn't know like that track originally started out as like a tribute song, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like with them trying to show love, and
switched
then
it up on us.
Like I guess some stuff went down, and then like, well, we kicking down buildings now. Like, so it was crazy. But yeah, I can see why, because that was definitely a dope track.
And then my third is going to be the king himself of the Bay Area, E40.
Wow.
Hey.
E40,
Yeah.
Belafonte, you know what I'm saying?
See, that's how I know that like we was raised in the boat, because we got two out of my 3. It's like the same.
I mean, I don't know. The West Coast artists I heard when I was growing up. 5 of them.
For real. E40, the whole Death Row, you know what I'm saying?
E40 was beyond dope.
But outside of Tupac and E40, you know what I mean? Yeah, I have to throw my man Short Dog on there too.
Hey,
you can't sleep on
Shorty
Dog.
the pimp.
You know, I mean, the first time, of Coast, came to the West Coast, heard some Too Short. Shout my man KayPlaya put me onto that. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, I'm like in the record store trying to find his whole discography. Every album, I remember talking to you on the phone too, like, yo, what would you say like his dopest album, man? I need to have that, like just to start from the beginning, because whatever he was pushing out there at the time, you know, I just know that it just motivated me to go back, and I just started all the way from the beginning and just started catching up on some Too Short also. So,
hell yeah.
And this is a trip. You could actually say like Too Short albums are like a microcosm or a time capsule of history.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that.
Hey, like what fucking word did you just use?
Microcosm.
Microcosm.
This nigga D Money written in his dictionary.
With the live Googles.
Like a time capsule of history, because like his first joints, you could just hear like the crack 80s.
Yeah.
like Hustler.
Like we went through that with Short.
Yeah.
I think the thing I probably liked about him though the most was like how he tells his stories though.
Yeah.
Kind of like Biggie in a sense. You know, the way that, you know, you feel like it's story time when
Dang,
you
raw
just
too.
I didn't even really think of it like that.
He didn't hold back either.
Well, that's like the Cocktails album. Like the Cocktails album was pretty much a bunch of stories about. I mean, obviously it's all centered around a central subject, but I mean that was Short telling his stories.
Yeah.
And I mean, real funny thing. Well, not necessarily a funny thing about Short, but obviously, I grew up with parents who were in tune with hip hop, or maybe not obviously, but my pops would always play Too Short albums, and he would always randomly quiz me. Like he would pop in a Short tape, literally, and be like, "You don't know who this is," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's Short Dog," and like he would be impressed that I know who Too Short was because that's who he was listening to. But that's how far back Short go. Yeah. Especially on the West Coast.
All right, so we're going to jump into our realm right here. 4 of us, we got to pick the top 4 DJs of all time, in your opinion. I'm going to go with, because I've had the pleasure and the honor of meeting this guy on multiple occasions and opening up for him, and everything that you know about him is how he is in person, and I'm definitely going to say Kid Capri.
Nice.
Kid Capri is,
I dig that.
is amazing. Like, literally the only dude I know who still turns his tables. Is it traditional or battle style?
No, he's traditional because he keeps them the long way.
Yeah. And look, like I said, I'm not gonna act like I've been DJing forever. I mean, it's been pretty. It's going pushing 10 years almost. I'm getting towards there. But back then, it wasn't that long. So I didn't know that you could turn the table the other way. Like,
what is he doing?
I was confused. I was like, yo.
Why is his turntables like that?
Rookie.
His turntables is upside down.
But his turntables is how they originally was using them.
Like still to this day, I
like
guarantee.
they are actually record players.
All right, let me find out. Capri don't know how to DJ.
Got his turntables wrong.
He turned his tables to the side, and it had me all fucked up. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how is he gonna DJ like that? Like, I don't understand. But he'll literally like still. And I've opened up for a lot of big name DJs, both new and old. He's the only one that I know that comes literally with, you think it's his luggage, but it's his DJ setup from his laptop to his 2 lamps that he uses.
I'm prepared.
Those 2 lamps, he needs a certain mixer because he does that live reverb shit on his sets. That Kid Capri is not a sample. Like, that's him doing that live.
Yeah, but the lights come from when you use vinyl, you know, so you can find the grooves in the records. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like,
so, but he still does that shit to this day. Every time he DJs. It could be lit as fuck, and he still got these 2 goddamn lamps with him everywhere he goes.
Right.
So Kid Capri is amazing. And then, like, how he rocks a crowd, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these new DJs don't know about being an act. The whole history of DJing in itself, like, it was, you know, now we got what you call hype man. So you have a DJ and you have a hype man. But back in the day, you know, the DJ was everything.
Right.
And he embodies that shit to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? And then also coming from, you know, not having intros or whatever, because, you know, a lot of, if you're a DJ like us, you know about slamming records or whatever, but when he does the shit, it don't even seem like he's slamming records sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so flawless of how he moves from record to record with talking and hyping up the crowd, and then you can't put him in a box neither. Like he'll transcend from so many different genres, and I've seen like I've DJ'd for him like I said over the at least 5 times I've opened up for him in different time eras. I'm talking about like hyphy movement, even like now the new mumble rap, whatever, and he still transcends and stays relevant in all of those markets. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, most doubt. What about you, Hugh?
Man, I gotta take it back to Philly one time.
Hello, I already know where you're going.
My man DJ Jazzy Jeff, man, straight up, man. You know, because I feel like, you know, not only is he a vet in the game, he's also a legend. You know, somebody who you can actually like learn something from. He is still working. He's still putting in work. He still got all the skills that it takes to DJ and keeping up with everything that's brand new music, new technology, everything that embodies the totality of being a DJ. He is the epitome of that person, man. You know, and he still comes out to Vegas, does shows out here, still killing pool parties like it's nothing. And he's been doing this, as far as I know, all his life, because he sure has been doing it all of my life.
Yeah.
Right. And so shout out to DJ Jazzy Jeff, man. You know, I got to give him his props, man. And, you know, hope that he keep on holding it down the way he is. And, man, like, that's somebody to look up to if you ever want to know what a real DJ looks like.
Man, I take piggyback off of that. Like, I seen, like, the coldest meme, like, maybe, like, 2-3 years ago. It was, like, the first time I ever seen a DJ get down was from my bedroom on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He got man. He got in a little entertainment center and started going off on Uncle Phil's record.
Man. That's cold. No, I don't. I mean, I'm the same with you. So I didn't. For me, it's crazy because I didn't necessarily grow up idolizing the DJ, because for whatever reason, the part of the music culture I was into didn't necessarily praise the DJ, which ultimately helped me find my way to being a DJ, because I felt like nobody pay attention to this dude. Let me go over here and see what this is about. Yeah. But Jazzy Jeff is and was always that dude who I feel like always put the culture above making a name for himself. Like, the dude is always been relevant, obviously, way back in the 90s until now. But he's just one of them dudes who always DJ'd for the love of DJing. And I always admired that, aside from the fact that he's just a dope-ass DJ and he could do everything that I'm still trying to learn how to do. Right. But, I mean, for that reason, like, even when I got into DJing and I was like, yo, let me try to look to some people who really know how to do this and try to see what they doing, Jazzy Jeff was the first person I looked to. So from then on, I mean, Jazzy Jeff has just been my go-to guy. He never disappointed. I mean, I've only seen him live once, but that one time I seen him live, I was so fanned out. Yeah. You know, I'm like, I don't even like, even back in when I wanted to be a rapper days, right? Like, I never really fanned out over a rapper when I wanted to be a rapper as much as I fanned out for Jazzy Jeff once I was a DJ. Yeah. But that just lets you know how dope and how in tune with the culture he is. So for me, it's always going to be Jazzy Jeff.
Man, like, shout out to all the brothers in Tone Arms. It's just so many people like that I just admire for getting busy, because I was always a fan of just cats getting on the ones and twos and just getting down, just being dope, clean cuts, blends on point, just rocking the crowd, making it hype, and just sounding dope, and most importantly, playing dope music. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times cats get busy on the ones and twos, and that gets lost. But first and foremost, I gotta show love to my dude DJ Devastating KB. Rest in peace. The dude taught me how to DJ. Yes. You know, a lot of people check out your Vegas history. KB is a part of that. Coming up through the ranks and doing Power 88, 88.1 of what it was called back in the day, the Classic Thursdays. Just the way his originality is what really stood out there the most, and the thing I picked up from him the most is just how he would sit up there and he could take a hip hop acapella and put it over like a country beat and make it sound dope.
Hey, for real.
He would just, it's just creativity of how he would try to find ways to shock the crowd and awe the crowd and wow the crowd, and he was huge on that. So I got to show some love to my dude. Also, War and Peace, Rory Mack, man, so many cats in the city that's just influential. War and Peace, the first DJ to be on Serato and Rock a Club out here in Vegas. And
was he the first you saw?
Yeah. War and Peace, bro. Was the
See,
first
KB
DJ.
was the first.
Yeah,
so
but he got it from he got it from War and Peace.
KB was the first I saw.
Because Warren was in Club Raw, like on Serato,
true.
And everybody was like, "Yo, where your records at?"
Yeah, like what did you do?
He's like, "Nah, it's all on the computer, son." So like, he was really like a trendsetter in that era. But just other cats that I really inspired and wanted to be like. Shout out to my dude, DJ Prince Paul. He used to DJ on 88.1. Like Paul was a cut master. When I listened to him on the radio, I was like, yo, I gotta be like that dude. And then just cast it out Idol. Shout out to DJ Babu. You know what I'm saying? So
Babu like, with the juggles.
So nasty.
Man.
Damn, Rock Raider, like just his presentation on the ones and twos is still unmatched. Rest in peace, Grandmaster Rock Raider and Q-Bert, because I ain't never heard nobody scratch.
Hey, Q-Bert on a whole nother level, fam.
Like he out of here.
Dude is not human. Obviously, he plays just on that not human thing.
And if you a DJ, like you really want to get into like the insane scratch pickles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them versus Rock Raiders crew, like just those two, like how the culture broke off, and it was that style that Rock Raider and them was doing versus like the Mozart and all that type of stuff that the insane scratch pickles was doing. You know what I'm saying? So those are like the DJs that really, I know I was only supposed to pick one, but I mean, you can't. Like, this is crazy.
So to piggyback off the DJs conversation, DJ Jazzy Jeff kind of went on a rant saying he's tired of DJs complaining about technology. Especially the sync button. Do you feel that technology hurts or makes DJing better? Who's gonna take first?
Who want to start?
Easy.
Who want to start?
All right, I guess I start. Everybody looking this way.
I'm gonna let y'all old heads take it first.
Old heads.
What the? You just say?
Hey, to me, I mean, I'm
oldie
a strong.
but goodie.
Right.
Hey, I'm a strong believer in you got to put the weed in the bag first.
What? I don't even know what that means.
You know what?
Exactly.
Elaborate that analogy, sir.
So what that means is like, all right, if you want to learn
Cuban link he got on right now.
if you want to learn how to spell, right? First you gotta learn your ABCs.
Okay.
Right? If you want to learn how to write, you gotta learn how to spell, right?
Yeah.
You know, so one thing builds off another, you know. So to me, you know, like just learning how to DJ without all the technology, without Serato, using like plain old records, you know, to me that's the way to learn it. So you can know exactly what it is that you're doing, what you're trying to achieve. You know what Serato is doing for you, or whatever you're using, Tractor, whatever.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like. Do you feel like if you gave a kid a calculator to do math, do you think that's hurting them? Versus like learning how to like count and put things together himself. Like, well, if you want to know 2 plus 2, you just type it in, right? You hit enter to tell you what the answer is. What I need to know how to, put it together myself.
I mean, yeah, until you enter 32 minus 16 and hit equal, the 16 come 16. Up again. Yeah. But at the same time, some people like
exactly, and that's when the calculator is gonna hurt you, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Nah,
so to you, because if you don't understand the bases, then it just isn't really going to make sense to you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As soon as something goes wrong, your battery dies or something, right? You're screwed. As soon as Serato stops working and it's a crate of records, it's like, oh, we good. We got a bunch of records right here. You know, like just use that instead. You know, what are you going to do in that sense? You know what I mean? I know it's an unlikely event, but that's beside my point. My point being that like I have nothing against technology and the use of it when it comes to DJing, but know what you're doing. Know what it means. Like
fair.
We talk about Jazzy Jeff and the sync button. I mean, if that's how you want to rock, then that's up to you. But to me, it says a lot about the DJ when they have a need to use that. Personally, I don't even know where the sync button is, how to use it. I've heard of it. I've seen people use it, and I'm looking at it like, what is that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I tried to use it, it'd throw me. I think I tried using it one time, and it was like off beat, and I didn't know how to get it on beat.
Yeah.
So it just threw me completely off. So. I mean that's fine and all if you know and you're an expert in that. I don't know why anybody would practice something that I consider a handicap, but to me, I think Serato is supposed to be more of a tool, not necessarily what DJing is. Yeah, exactly. So
I would agree, and a piggyback off that, I've never. So I tried to use sync once just to figure out what advantage I could get from using sync. And I may or may not have been doing it wrong. But from the brief time I even tried to use sync, I came to the conclusion that you have to map all of your songs. Or what, like in Serato DJ, you have to place them on a beat grid.
Oh.
Right? So you have to properly beat grid
Is
your
that what you do?
Meaning
don't
the
change your
software,
BPMs.
Meaning the software has to know exactly what the song is doing at all times.
Right.
And to me, it just defeated the whole purpose of using sync, unless you're in like a competition or something. But I don't like with the library of a couple thousand songs, and my library is smaller than some because I'm deleting songs I don't ever use. But with a library of a couple thousand songs, I'm not going to go through them and properly beat grid the song just so I can use sync because I already know how to beat match. Like, it don't make no sense to me. I would just be wasting my time.
Right.
So for that purpose, I never understood why people would rely on syncing their songs together. However, I'm going to a quick story. I do talk to, I try to do both, like obviously like club gigs and mobile gigs. And I talk to a lot of mobile DJs, and in the mobile DJ community, they seem to think that blending two records together is relatively unimportant. So for them, using the sync option to blend the two together is obviously a welcome handicap because they don't feel like they need to learn how to blend two songs because for them and their audience, people just want to hear music. They don't care how it's blended together. Yeah. But I don't understand that. Okay. I don't understand that either, right? I don't, like, yeah, I'm going to go out and I'm going to perform for you guys. I'm going to do my thing. But the number one reason I'm into DJing is because I love music and I like to create different vibes with my music. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take the opportunity to do everything I can manually. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily going to rely on the technology other than doing some quick reproduction stuff. But to do the basics, nah, fam, I got this. That's what I'm here for. At the very least, to blend these two records together. Yeah. So let me do that manually. I don't know. So it's not for me.
No, I feel you. Like, and I get where he's coming from. And even if you go back and think about the essence of hip hop or even DJing in general, like, it's always about being the first person up on the new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So, like, and even technology wise, like, you cats would get excited about when the new mixer would drop. You know, like, I had to have the brand new mixer. Definitely. But, you know, just coming back just from the basics of what you're trying to do as far as being a DJ, and I'm a horrible example because I don't care about none of that stuff. Like, just, I don't read the manual. Just open the box. Mm-hmm. I know how to hook up the chords. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, where's my
Where's my pitch control? You know, and can I scratch on it? Like, that's like the two basic things that I can figure out. Like, anything else, I'll figure out I'll make it do how to rock the crowd with the music and all that stuff. And then, but. Back to what Hugh Holla said, you should definitely, it's better to know how something operates fully in itself, you know what I'm saying? Yes. And because it even makes you using the enhancements that much better, you know what I'm saying? Because you really knowing how they operate versus their own. But just for my purpose, I don't know, I've always been a hey man, hook it up so I can start getting busy type dude, right? Versus totally trying to understand like the nuances, how everything always operate. I don't even know where the sync button is or none of this. It's just how do you load the songs on?
I say going back to like the question itself, like, you know, asking if it makes DJing better. You know, I think in certain aspects it does make DJing better.
I would agree.
It
can make it simpler.
And that's where I was gonna go with it. Does it make it better? Yeah, sure. If you're an amazing DJ, then yes, you're gonna use every tool at your fingertips to, you know, make you even that more better or whatever. Like syncing is something that real DJs hate using just because, I mean, I started DJing like right before the controllers dropped. So I know about syncing and I tried to sync and it just, like I said, whatever KayPlaya just said, I don't even understand it. Never tried to understand it. I just know when you try to sync it up, it didn't sync how it should sync. So never tried it again. Like just as simple as that. But I mean, if the question is, does it hurt or make DJing better? I definitely got to say better because look at what we have on the table right now is laptops.
Yeah.
DJing didn't start with laptops. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely
as much
against.
Right, exactly. You're always against it at first.
No, I was.
Yeah.
I was literally one of the last people to get a laptop.
Whatever. I mean, it's the same thing. Like all of us in here were against controllers at one point, but now it makes the job a whole lot easier in certain aspects and certain whatever. Yeah, we all prefer turntables, but I could still get down on a controller.
And I've seen real respectable cats like just roll in with a little backpack, and plug in
and get busy,
you know what I'm saying?
And to that's what Jazzy Jeff was saying. Like, yo, fam, whatever y'all talking about as a DJ community is cool, but at the end of the day, remember what you doing this for, and that's the people in the audience. Like the people in the audience don't necessarily know if you DJing on turntables, on CDJs, on tape players. All they know is that either you a dope DJ or you not a dope DJ.
They not gonna send the bottles back because you pushing the sync button.
Exactly. I mean, all I could say is for all the DJs.
That's that Las Vegas flavor.
All I could say is for like all the DJs now is definitely with anything, even if you're an artist, a musician, a singer, a rapper, like learn your history. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what situation, even with a controller, like there's certain stuff, all of that stuff is integrated from the old school way of DJing. Right. So it's going to be certain stuff that you have to know from the past to understand what you're doing in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that stuff is a better version of what came before. So, I mean, that's always been my thing. Like, especially, I mean, the best thing about DJ now is that equipment is so much easier to have and it's so much in an abundance. So, but my whole thing was, if I don't have to bring equipment, I'm happy as hell. But at the same time, I've always been adamant on learning and knowing as much as I can. So anywhere I go, I can use this and be all right.
Yeah, you gotta be flexible.
You know what I'm saying? But if you only know how to use this controller or whatever, you're gonna be fucked if you walked in and they have something else, or they're not gonna always be like, all right, yeah, you can plug your stuff in. No, bro. Like, especially like if you get into the mix of, if you take your craft as DJing serious, what happens when, if ever, you get put on an old school show with like a Kid Capri or a Premier or whoever? They're not gonna be like, yeah, set up your controller. Like, no, nigga, get down on these tables, bro.
Right.
Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like in that aspect, like you should always know as much as you can. Like that's my whole thing. It's all about learning more. But if you don't know where it came from, then why are you even doing it?
Right. And to that, technology is not backwards compatible as much as it is forward compatible. Meaning, if you know how to DJ on the basics, being a regular 2-channel mixer and some turntables, just imagine what you could do when somebody put a controller in front of you, when you not only have access like you have with turntables and the controller, but you got cue points.
It's like cheat codes.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that.
So up, down, left, right, BA, start.
Right. But then imagine learning on a controller and then you show up to a gig and they got turntables. You have no idea what you're going to do.
And somebody got records.
I mean, even that. I mean, you know, like if you got turntables, you know, like even if you got Serato and turntables, and all you can really do is cut and scratch your way out of records, you're going to be completely lost because you don't necessarily know how to prefabricate your way to the next song.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's always good to learn the basics and then advance from there.
I think that's a great way to end off our show. For the record,
nice
podcast from the ROCKSTARR DJz.
Yeah,
you know, it's definitely gonna be a weekly thing we do for you guys.
Yeah, buddy.
And you know, take it out. You know, I'm the Mizzy, the ROCKSTARR DJ.
KayPlaya. Somebody.
Yeah.
I know D Money want to take it to the end with the finale.
Yeah,
ROCKSTAR DJ.
You already know how D Money want to do that.
He Holla was gonna hold out like.
I ain't trying to let
you
him
go
have it.
first.
Come on, son. Go.
ROCKSTAR DJ, you Holla. I'm
there
signing
you go.
off, man.
And you know the ROCKSTAR DJ D Money. Make sure you follow us at RSDJZ on all our social media platforms.
Yeah, buddy.
And you can get all our individual social medias from there.
Yeah, buddy.
Peace.
Yeah.
Gone.
Shit, that was good shit. We're brothers. Happy and we're singing and we're cutting. Give me a high five.
Beautiful, guys.
I'm putting that in the shit for sure. Believe that.